Hello YouTube, my name is Paul, I hope you're all keeping well. We're back today then with another pickup video. So I'm going to show you the games I picked up during the month of August. So quite a few specky games as per usual, some more Ocean games. The last Ocean game I need for my Commodore 64. The PS4 Collector's Edition I've been after for absolutely ages. Another Psygnosis game. One more Psygnosis game to the collection, which leads me, technically I've got them all, but there's one more I would like boxed. And I can finally do a full Psygnosis collection video. So yeah, I'll show you the Ocean game I got first for the Commodore 64. This is the final one that I need. And that's Stunt Bike. I've never played it, and it's probably about half a dozen games that were only specifically released on the Commodore 64. And Stunt Bike is one of them. In fact, I think Stunt Bike is probably one of the earliest ones. It came out in 1984. So that's the first one I got. So the next batch I'll show you are Spectrum games. I've got about 10 maybe to show you. First one is a replacement for one I've got that doesn't work, and that's Hunchback 2, which is Quasimodo's Revenge, which is in fact the second part of the arcade version of Hunchback. So yeah, the copy I bought before didn't work, so yeah, just a straight replacement really. And like I said in my previous pickup video, with this magnetic media stuff, even the tapes squeal when they go through the flipping tape deck if they're not in very good condition. So once they've done that, they've had it. Unfortunately, one of the bundles that I bought, most of the games did that, so they must have been kept in some really poor conditions. But in the bundle was some fantastic Imagine titles which I don't have. So unfortunately, it's got to go back. Now, the next one is nostalgic because a lot of these games I pick up on the way home from school. Games by Mastertronic, and this one I never had before, and that's Incredible Shrinking Fireman. I've got no interest in collecting all these, but I've got most of the games I used to have back in the day. But yeah, that old grid design is very nostalgic, and the artwork I think was only really second to Ocean Software. I thought very nostalgic, and they always had like really good fun covers. Well, I thought they were good fun. They look quite nice. Next up is MiG-29 Soviet Fighter, which is a bit of an afterburner rip-off, but for a budget game it's absolutely fantastic. I think I saw David Retro Games played Badly Birdsall play this, and it looked really good, so I thought I'd keep hold of it and give it a go myself. I know one of David's favourite games isn't Dizzy, and I've never played a Dizzy game myself, to be completely honest with you. This will come as part of the bundle, and it's Dizzy 2, or Treasure Island Dizzy. I used to like the Magic Knight series of games, like Nighttime and Spellbound and that, and it's quite similar to that, but I've just never got around to playing them, to be honest. Probably the only real nostalgic game out of this lot is Waxworks, which I picked up on its own. I think it was like £2. But when I got my Spectrum 48K back in the day, it came with 8 games from the Dixon's pack. Most of them, well, not most of them, all of them were bloody crap. But Waxworks I remember because it was the first time I ever saw a graphic adventure, a text adventure. I wasn't quite sure what to do with it, to be honest. I only got about 2 or 3 screens into the game, but yeah, it's just nostalgic for that really. The fact I had it when I got my very first Spectrum. It's not a very good game. Right, next up is an Ocean game I don't have for the Spectrum. It's called It's a Knockout, based on a TV series that I don't really remember that well. But yeah, so I've been after this one for quite some time, so it's been, well, nice to have hold of it, get hold of it now. Right, next up is Taipan, which I think is Ocean Software's first release, well, first game they released, which had a 128K specific side, I guess. So I guess you didn't have to worry about all the multi-loads, you probably had 128K music, but unfortunately this version doesn't work, which is a shame. I've got it on the Amstrad and I've got it on the Atari ST, but perils of buying these old bloody games, isn't it really? And the next one is Batman, which is a classic, especially Ocean Software, the original one. Again, I never played it. It's one of those isometric games, or sort of in a pseudo 3D environment, a bit like Saber Wolf and that sort of thing. But again, never played it. Unfortunately, I'm not going to play the Spectrum one for a while yet, because this one again doesn't work. It does that squealy noise as it goes through the tape deck. Now another classic is Gauntlet. And amazingly, I've never played this either. I picked up Gauntlet 2 last month for the Atari ST. As you can see, it's got some nice screenshots there. And sometimes these publishers back in the day didn't have the screenshot for the particular game you bought. They'd have like the best version. It's a bit naughty really, but yeah, I've never played it. It does look good though, to be honest. Again, the next game I remember really well. Never really played it until quite recently. Very brutal game, but I always remember the music being used in like the crack throws for the Atari ST games. So the music was more familiar than the game. But again, I got this as part of the bundle, or one of the bundles which worked, which was great. And finally is Legend of Cage, which I've got on the Amstrad. Quite a difficult Imagine title to get hold of on the Spectrum. But again, never really played it, to be honest. I've got no idea what it's about. I'm not even sure if it's an arcade. It is an arcade conversion by Taito, yeah. Sinclair Quality Control. Bloody hell, I didn't know there was such a thing. Right, so that's it for the 8-bit stuff. Next up is some CDTV. So I was after a particular game from this seller. Now this seller, I think, runs a Project CD32 website, and I think he's selling off his entire collection. He had massive games like Humans 3 Evolution, Word Construction Sets. That was the one I was after. There's only about 2 games that I know of that I don't have for the CD32, and one of them is Word Construction Set. But this game was, I think it ended up going for about £600. Which is all well and good, but obviously by the time I import that here to the UK, it's 30% tax on top of that, so it'd been more like 800 quid including post. So for that particular game, I wasn't really committed, so I didn't obviously win. But yeah, it's a shame really, because I think it's the only copy that's probably known to exist. So the first up then is Battle Storm. So these 2 games I think cost me about 100 quid, 110 quid including tax and postage. But yeah, never played this one. It looks okay. As you know, CDTV games don't come up very often, and when they do, they can go for quite a bit of money. The next one is Wrath of the Demon. Again, would originally have come in a really big box. So the box is probably about 4 times the height of the actual CD. But to find these in those original boxes is really hard, and I don't think many of these games actually came in those original boxes. I know that did, and I know Defender of the Crown did for definite. Besides that, I've got no idea what other games came in those big boxes. Right, next up then is a couple of, well, 3 Amiga games. So the first one is a game I've been after for absolutely ages. That's Rocket Ranger. So I've got Wings, it came from the desert and games like that, but this is the one that's been eluding me. It's in very nice condition. I remember these back in the day because they received some fantastic reviews, but I never had any. The problem with playing these games now, they're very slow and quite unresponsive. Graphically they're still really good for the Amiga, but yeah, unfortunately it's quite a sluggish experience. But yeah, it comes with a code wheel, everything's in really nice condition. This gent or lady must have got it from Virgin Megastore for $29.99. Yeah, pleased to have that finally in the collection. I've got 2 Psygnosis games to show you. One is a swap out, which is Red Zone, again in lovely condition. So really pleased to have this in better condition. The one I had is a bit scuffed at the top and that. So yeah, I really do enjoy picking up games in these sorts of conditions, to be honest. So yeah, I'm always looking out for replacements, especially for games in the core collection. Finally for the Amiga is Bob's Bad Day. I've been after this one for flipping ages. There's one on eBay that's about 80 quid, but this game is nowhere near worth even half of that, to be honest. And the condition of this is better than I thought it might be, because the guy who listed it, or girl who listed it, didn't show off its good side. So if you look at this now, it's got a bit of, well, it's torn a bit up here, so it's not doesn't look particularly great, but in general it's not a bad condition game. This was what, £20. So yeah, second to last game that I need for the Psygnosis collection. I already have the last one, which is Arena, but unfortunately I don't have a box, and it's probably one of the hardest Psygnosis games to pick up. Right, next up is a couple of steelbooks I picked up from Amazon. These were literally about £2 each, so I thought I'd pick them up. The first one is, I think it's the Elder Scrolls Online. Yep, Morrowind, not much on the back. Yeah, it's quite a nice steelbook, I thought. They only come out on the PC, as far as I know. And the next one is The Crew 2. Now, I'm not sure these are generic steelbooks, which you could use for both the PlayStation and the Xbox. But yeah, I thought that was quite nice. Like I said, a couple of quid each. Next up is a box set, a PS4 collector's edition I've been after for absolutely ages. One came up from France, which I bought, and I used, I think, an eBay voucher to get it, I don't know, 20% off or something, or 15% off, so I got a hold of it. But it's exactly the same as the UK version, but obviously it's got a French surround. So I bought that. It cost me about 250 quid, which is a lot of money for this particular game. And then one come up in CEX. I've only ever bought one game before on CEX, so I thought I'd try it. I've never seen it come up on there before. And it was 150 quid, so I freaking snapped that right up. So when I got it, I was quite pleasantly surprised. So the game is Nier Automata, which is quite a difficult box set to get hold of. It sold out really quickly on Square Enix's site, because you couldn't actually buy it from the shops, you could only get it from the website. But the back of the box here is similar to the French version, but obviously the French version is in French. Comes with a figurine, steelbook and an art book, and all of it's sealed, so I'm really chuffed with that. And that was 150 quid, I think I already said that, but yeah, really pleased with that one. So I've had to list the other one to pay for that one, really. It's typical, isn't it? You've been looking for one thing for ages, and then two come along within like literally about 2 days of each other. So that's it for my physical pickup. So what I have done is I've booked myself into some dodgy seedy hotel somewhere up north of England, about 7 hours drive away, to meet up with a bunch of people I've never met before. So how random is that? Bloody hell. So yeah, booked into the Norbrick Hotel, which looks like a complete fucking dump. But yeah, awesome, man. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to meeting you guys, if you do attend these events in Blackpool. But yeah, I'm ready to go. I'm looking forward to it. Quite excited actually, but I don't have an excitable face, but yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And I've booked a couple of tickets to go to Bristol, is it Gaming Market or something or another? It's only up the road, 150 miles away, so it's a bit closer to home. Don't get much down here in the southwest, especially in Cornwall or Devon or anything like that, but yeah, so I'm looking forward to making a trip up there. That's it really, that's all I've got to share with you this month in regards to pickups. So thank you very much for watching, thank you very much for subscribing, and I'll see you all again real soon. Take care of yourselves and bye for now.